Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, not much has happened, but we have seen a break of the green trend line. It happened earlier today. And as, let's say, promised, or as mentioned before, a break of the green trend line was our earliest indication, the earliest indication that a top has formed. And it was a pretty accurate signal, a local top, at least a local top. Yeah, what was my wording? It was something around, 1 second, we've got it on Twitter here somewhere. VChain Bitcoin. That was posted on the 22nd. Oh dear, what day? It's already, okay, it's 23rd, so yesterday. Yesterday I posted the price is still in a local uptrend. As long as the green trend line is holding, even a break of the trend line is only the first indication that the price top could have formed. Ideally, we need a 5-wave move to the downside and a break of initial support. We don't have a 5-wave move down yet. But you see, this was our first indication. We've been tracking this trend line. Earliest indication that a top is in place, possibly in wave 1. The wave 2 support area hasn't changed. It's still between 56,460 and 62,390. Let me close that. By the way, if you want to get additional updates like these, follow us here on Twitter. Also, you'll find here on Twitter that was posted on Monday, which we ask you which cryptos you're excited about this week. Later in the week, we're going to filter these and pick 4 most named cryptos, and then you can vote for them for a video on the weekend. That will be a video that of a coin that I typically don't cover on YouTube, so you might want to check it out. It will be covered only on X on Twitter. You'll find a link to our Twitter channel in the description. So you see how helpful that signal was, this trend line. I mean, trend lines, I always say it, they are not really predictive, so they are not reliable as such. But you need to be able to filter between trend lines that are, let's say, somewhat relevant, okay? Somewhat relevant, and the ones that you can sort of ignore. If you only have 2 touch points, or a trend line always changes because it always gets fake outs, yeah, it's not a relevant trend line. But this one here had down here alone 1, 2, 3 touch points, maybe even a 4th one, 5, 6, 7, pretty much 8. Here tried to break, though that was a fake out, but you have like 5, 6 touch points, so pretty good trend line. When those break, it can be meaningful. Yeah, it can be meaningful, and we have seen further downside, but yeah, it's not enough yet to really confirm we've topped. But I'm tracking it. Still further upside extensions are possible, and if the price breaks above the Monday high at 68,550, I would still pay attention to these upside targets here. 69,090, 69,350, 70,650. And you know what, this larger 5th wave here, it would still look better with one more high, but we don't necessarily need it. We listen to what the market is telling us. Minimum requirements have been fulfilled. The price reached my minimum target for this 5th wave to the upside, so I'm very happy to call it already wave 1 complete. But again, we need more evidence that we've actually topped. I just posted it on Discord that I'm tracking now primarily the white count, which is the downside count, as long as we stay below that intraday top. Okay, so as long as we stay below 67,340. Okay, it was not the intraday top, but that was the B wave top. So in the white count, we could say we've topped. A wave down, B wave up, C wave down. From here, we would see a bounce. If that bounce is corrective, it could send us down lower again. Bear in mind that in this region, around 63K, we could find additional support because that's the previous wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which bottomed there. It can be that these wave 2s, they tend to finish. It's one of these traditional Elliott Wave guidelines. They tend to finish in the area of a wave 4. It's not a must, and the standard support zone is lower than that. But if we're really in a bullish phase, then pullbacks might be shallow. But I'm tracking further downside. After a 3-wave move down is completed, we could expect a bounce, okay? At least in wave B. I need a little bit more price action to really come up with a very reliable micro count here. I mean, micro counts are rarely reliable, especially in corrections. So I'll do my best to track an ABC structure here. It might still morph, it might still change. what is more important, I always say it, what is more important than the microstructures are the support levels, and they are clear. Between 56,460 and 62,390. If this really is now a wave 2 correction, we should ideally get there, or at least it's the support zone. So as long as it's holding, my interpretation is that a larger degree fourth wave bottomed on the 5th of July, and we are moving up in a fifth wave towards 85, 90K. Yeah. But now we're first watching if wave 1 is topped. This is always a bit of a process. What I could imagine is happening here is even a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so that's possible. And then get this done and then rally. This would be perfect. But the market doesn't always fill in perfect patterns. You know, sometimes the pullback is shallow, or the right shoulder is weak, or whatever. So therefore, this is the support area. And as long as it's holding, I expect further rising prices. Very clear statement. We have a very clear level to watch. Below 56,460, I assume the price needs one more low, and my test here 50,680, which would be just one more low in the local range that started in March. But for now, as I mentioned in previous videos, because we have a 5-wave move up now, yeah, which might get another high, but it's the same count. So if we get one more high, I would still call that a wave 1. So as long as we're holding that support area, we focus on higher prices. The microstructure shows a local downtrend. Any break above the 67,400 level, so basically this B wave top here in white, would be an indication that we actually get another upside extension. But for now, as long as we stay below that level, the downside pressure is high. Bear in mind, this is a counter trend move, so it's not necessarily the best time for shorting. It is a counter trend move. Typically, your probabilities are here not really in your favor because you're working against a higher level trend, which is up. But that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.